So when it was you and your mom, she would say something negative about me, you would have my back?
Yeah, I really did. The energy was that I was agreeing with some of the things she was saying. And, you know, obviously if I agreed with what you were saying about my mom, I would say, yeah, Rob, I agree.
Even agree with her? You really let me down right there. Like, I thought we were a team, and after that conversation, I felt like you were not on my team.
Man like Rob. Why does Rob have this energy of like abandonment issues? I want to know who hurt this guy. Like who really let him down? That's what I want to know. You know, because his reaction to certain things, you know, give me vibes of somebody that's been let down a lot. You know. The only thing is with Rob though, it comes from it feels as if it comes from a very unhealthy place, because the way he tries to open up himself, it's not the best way. It's always from a place of frustration. But listen, I understand. I get it. It's not nice to be in a situation where you're being double teamed. It's not nice to be in a situation where you feel like you're being ambushed by a daughter and a mother. So I completely get it. I understand his frustrations in the matter. And to be fair, I do agree. You know, Sophie could have definitely done a better job. But at the same time, though, I can understand why Sophie would have wanted to still defend her mother, or at least agree with her mother if she generally does agree with her mother. But I do feel like there is a way of doing it, you know, and that is where it gets a bit subjective, doesn't it? I mean, listen, in the situation, Sophie could have chose to de-escalate her mum and say, hey, mum, we ain't doing that. And then maybe in a different conversation, then bring out the points that her mum made between her and Rob in private. Maybe that's the case. But then at the same time, though, maybe Sophie felt more comfortable, you know, addressing these things with her mum, because she knows that if she addresses them when her mum isn't there, Rob is always going to find a way to shut her down. Rob is always going to be in a position where he's never going to want to be open-minded to understanding her point, because that's something that we also discover throughout this episode. You know what I mean? Something that we've probably known anyway this whole time. But listen, before we get into it, before we continue, if you're new to the channel, or if you're someone who's a returning viewer and you're always here, but for some reason you haven't hit that subscribe button, let's hit that subscribe button, please, okay? We're trying to get to that 50k. Let's make it happen, okay? Hopefully we can do that by the end of the month. But with that being said, like the video, and let's get into this.
I felt you feel like that, and I'm sorry for making you feel alone. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I understand how maybe he may have felt, you know, it was him alone against me and my mum, and I don't want him to feel alone. And also, knowing me and Rob's history, if I don't apologize, then the argument probably won't end, and I
left out to.
You see, the fact that she said that, she knows their history. Their history is that each time they have a dispute, Rob never wants to let it go, so therefore she always has to be the bigger person. And that is so sad to watch, because if she always has to be the bigger person, then that clearly means that only one person's emotions is being understood in this relationship, not both of theirs. This is what I'm saying. And this is why she probably felt like, I guess, double teaming with her mother, because it's the only time she felt like she could actually have a voice without him doing what he does best to her, and that's pretty much putting her down and making her feel like as if she needs to apologize, and that's the only way they're going to move on. But to be honest with you, it's quite sad that she's in this position.
Dry?
Yeah.
I felt very left out to dry. I felt very vulnerable with no support.
But it's like, the way he's treating me, I don't really know why I keep fighting at this point. It's like he feel bad. I do have limits. And
I think this is the problem, isn't it? Since the very beginning of this season, Sophie has spoken a lot about having limits, having boundaries, you know what I mean? But it's been nothing but a lie. Because if she had, then why is she still with him? The amount of times they've had disputes, arguments, all that kind of stuff, and she's still here. There's so many things that they've spoken about that a lot of people would have walked away from. I mean, listen, there's things that she's done that let's not forget, this is the biggest one of them all. Kids. She's already expressed that kids is something that she doesn't really decide to have necessarily because she doesn't think that she can have them. Rob made a whole hoo-ha about that. I just find it very interesting that he's adamant how he wants children, but he knows that Sophie can't guarantee him children. So the fact that he's still even in this relationship blows my mind, to be honest with you, based on that stuff alone. But then we look at everything else that these two have gone through. But we continue.
I understand it. I don't know what more you want me to say. I'm sorry. I feel like the least you could say is, I'm sorry for being disrespectful to your mum. It's still my mum at the end of the day. It's like, you don't have to apologize to me.
I'm sorry I yelled at your mom.
Okay.
Things that I really tried not to say.
Okay, thank you. That's all I can ask for. And it's like, I'm willing to move past it. And it's like yesterday, when I was sleeping without you, I was missing you a lot. And then before posting a lot of posts, which were obviously aimed at me, which I thought was pretty childish.
It wasn't aimed at you.
The love I've always had myself, so I'm going to be good alone. And then it was the post saying, when she buys you a meal one time and she acts like she takes care of you, which I'm like, that, which is like, okay, you're throwing little weird digs. And then it was the quote about how I sleep at night knowing she lies and doesn't take accountability. And then there was another one.
I mean, there was a whole lot of quotes, right? A whole lot of freaking quotes. I mean, honestly, the fact that Rob was even doing this is actually childish as hell. Like, this guy needs to hold himself accountable. Like, think about it. You can't be 32 years of age and going on Facebook and making post after post after post that is, you know, that is directed at the person that you're supposed to marry. Make that make sense.
Saying, oh, I'm just going to act emotionally intelligent to people who aren't emotionally intelligent or something.
I'm not denying that it relates to my life. I didn't post it just for other people. I posted it because it was relatable.
That is pathetic. Just because something's relatable, and the fact that it's relatable is the reason to not post it. Because therefore people know that what you're posting is definitely a dig at your woman. Like, does he listen to himself? Brain cells is something that clearly he can't afford, and brain cells are actually for free. Let's just let that sink in.
And if she did see it, then, like, I don't know, maybe she get where I'm coming from by seeing it coming from a different perspective. Or
You want to hurt my feelings?
I don't want to hurt your feelings. You don't have to look at my face.
You know I see you. Just say, I'm sorry.
I have a right to feel a certain way.
You've done something to hurt my feelings. Even if you didn't intend to, say sorry. Dating. Your feelings were hurt. My feelings were hurt. Why don't you just say sorry?
She ain't lying, no. Why can't you just take accountability and just say sorry? Like, you're always hurting my feelings and you never say sorry. It's always me saying sorry to you, but when it's me, it never comes.
I'm just say I'm sorry and that's it, and we'll move past it. So do the same, bro. Sick of it. I stick up for you and I'm by your side all the time, and you can't even just say I'm sorry for hurting your.
I'm sorry for hurting your feelings over some social media posting. I know that I've been lacking in how I'm responding to some things. I know that. I am really trying to get better, and I'm really trying to stay calm, and I'm really trying not to only think about myself. I'm trying to think about.
I really want to know how many times he has said that card. I'm trying. I really hate that sometimes. You know, sometimes there are certain things, yes, we can try in, but then there's certain things that we need to actually do. This guy is always saying try. But every try that he says is meaningless. Absolutely meaningless. So he needs to stop trying and start doing. If he really wants to keep her, he now has to start doing no matter what. Trying isn't even an option. You see what I'm saying? Trying is only something that happens depending on the context of the situation. In their situation, trying isn't what they need. They need action. Well, Sophie needs action from him. Point blank, period. If that action doesn't come, well, then all he's trying is never actually trying. It's him just saying it for the sake of saying it. And this is the thing. Sometimes people use the word try because it's like they know they're not going to, so therefore they can say it later on, or at least I tried, when they didn't. That's why in some situations you have to hold people kind of be like, no, I don't want you to try, I want you to actually do it. But it depends on, it all really depends on how much you trust that person. If you're with somebody that has told you they're going to try, but you see that they're actually trying, then that's fine. But if somebody says they're going to try and you see that they actually have not been trying, do I really need to say anything else? Come on now.
It's hard to see you're trying when we keep getting the same result.
And that's exactly my point. It's hard to keep trying if you keep giving me the same result. If you're trying, the result should have changed by now. Or I should be able to see the results changing. Something that gives me hope that says, yes, you're trying.
I always keep being unfair to myself by ending these arguments, keep arguing, and then I always have to end them because you just won't see my side. Eventually it's going to get to me and I'm going to be an unhappy wife, and I don't want that. So say or you're not.
I'm trying to do that for us.
Well, do you reckon if you keep trying, you can get to the point where you just take constructive criticism as what it is, and there's never an argument in the first place? Or no, that's you not taking accountability. You're not trying. Just answer the question. It's never shade. It's never shade. Just take accountability right now. Please.
Imagine this. Imagine being 23 and you're having to speak to your 32-year-old partner as if they're the freaking kid. You know, as if they're the one that's, how can I say it? Imagine being Sophie and you're having to speak to your older partner as if you're the mature one. When in reality, it should be him being the mature one. It should be him always kind of helping, guiding her. You see what I'm saying? Make it make sense. But you can't make sense out of people that lack common fucking sense.
Yes, because I wouldn't even be, you wouldn't.
Again, it's not an attack. I'm asking you. So are you going to take accountability moving forward?
The fact that she has black, again, it's not an attack.
Okay.
If I wasn't, I wouldn't be trying to change.
I finally see that I'm getting through to Rob and he starts to be genuine, which that's what I wanted all along, is just to see, look at him and see he's being sincere and genuine and he can care that I'm upset. So I'm in more of a forgiving mood, and it's like, you know, I feel like it ended how I wish it would happen a bit sooner.
I mean, listen, I just, the thing that I find wild, crazy, is the fact that we are dealing with a guy at that age, but yet he's with somebody that has to be more mature than him at the age that she's at. You know, here's the thing. Experiences, maturity. Experience and maturity come for us differently. Some people experience certain things earlier on, some people experience things later on. But the matter of the fact is, when we experience certain things, the question is, can we take those experiences and mature from them? And this is why I always say to people, sometimes age has nothing to do with maturity. Rob is living evidence to that. He's one of those people that has been through experiences, probably more experience than Sophie, but he has lacked to mature from any of those experiences. Now, despite the fact that Sophie's younger than him, she's obviously gone through experiences, but she's actually been able to mature herself from those experiences. So this is the question in this situation here. Does Sophie want to be with somebody that does not know how to actually mature from his experiences? Because if he hasn't done it now, who says he's ever going to do it? And the matter of the fact is that she want to be in a situation where she always has to school him on how he needs to learn. That's draining as fudge. Even if they were both the same age, it'd still be draining as hell. All I know is this. It's important to be around, or to be around people that know how to be accountable. And it's also important to be with somebody that knows how to be accountable. Because people who don't know how to do that, don't expect them to make mature choices. Don't expect them to be great. And that's why Rob will never be there. But nonetheless though, you guys let me know what you're thinking down below and we'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.